Hello, my name is Cara O'Farrell and I'm Head of Academic Practice here in Trinity College Dublin, and I'm going to be leading out this initiative which falls under Type 003, Teaching and Learning Across the Disciplines. The title of this initiative is Students as Partners in Assessment. And what we propose to do is to develop a research-based train-the-trainers program for students transitioning on assessment literacy. Successful graduates of this Train-the-Trainers program will be able to roll out the program to students transitioning into first year. So what is the context of this initiative? The Trinity Assessment Framework is an institutional framework and a key component of the Trinity Assessment project. It has 5 main tenets, these tenets being 1, that assessment supports the acquisition of the graduate attributes, 2, that assessment supports learning, 3, that assessment is program focused, 4, that it supports meta-learning, and 5, that it actively engages staff and students in assessment. To date, the implementation of the Trinity Assessment Framework has focused on the first 3 tenets. And it's resulted in valuable changes in assessment for, of and as learning across Trinity. This initiative, however, will allow us to shift our focus to the final 2 tenets of the Trinity Assessment Framework, that being to support meta-learning and to actively engage students and staff in assessment. To do this, we really need to build our students' capacity to understand what constitutes quality and to know how to make evaluative judgments on their own work and that of others. Essentially, to be agents of their own learning.
Hi, my name is Niamh McCay and I'm the Education Officer for the Students' Union of Trinity College Dublin. It seems really appropriate that the conversation that ignited this initiative started in Trinity in 2018 with a national multidisciplinary ideas exchange. This event was funded by the National Forum Seminar Series and jointly hosted by the TCDSU Education Officer of the time, Nicholas Johnson from the Department of Creative Arts, and Cara O'Farrell from Trinity Teaching and Learning. It was called Students as Partners, Your Voice on Assessment, and it focused exclusively on students' experiences of assessment in higher education, and sought to identify the issues surrounding assessment. During the day, students discussed, in an open and democratic environment, questions such as, how can assessment work best for you? How can we enable you to partake in ownership of your assessment? And what do students as partners in assessment look like? We also spoke about how we can enhance the learning experience by involving students directly in assessment.
The results of this meaningful engagement and partnership with students was far-reaching, and it was implemented throughout the last couple of years through our assessment framework. But what this initiative does is really gives us the chance to further develop a much-needed practical response to the research we undertook and to those valuable conversations we had with students. We believe that this programme on assessment literacy will really help students transitioning into Trinity.
So why is this project so important? When we enter university, we see high levels of stress in students who lack the skills of critical thinking, problem solving and independent learning that is critical to successfully engage with third-level education. It is widely acknowledged that second-level assessment, in particular the Leaving Certificate, provides an adequate preparation for students who then progress into higher education. The Leaving Cert's focus on rote learning and teaching to the exam disproportionately prepares for a reproductive learning, and this is not the priority of Trinity education, nor lifelong learning. If students are to reach their potential in assessment, then we need to be assessment literate. We need to understand the language of assessment and the processes, and we need to appreciate its principles and purpose. No more trial and error. The more we know about what's being asked of us in assessment, the better we can perform and meet its requirements. And the more we fundamentally understand the value of assessment, the better we will then engage.
Research shows that an indispensable condition for student success is that students have the same understanding of what constitutes a good assignment as the assessor who is assessing them. This initiative and the resulting Gateway Programme in Assessment Literacy will encourage staff-student dialogue around the principles and disciplines of assessment, but also close the gap between academics who have a tacit knowledge of assessment practices, criteria and principles, and students who do not yet have that knowledge. So how will this initiative be developed? Well, I'm going to lead the project alongside capsule academic developers and staff and students from across our 3 faculties in Trinity: Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, Engineering, Mathematics and Science, and Health Sciences. This will enable the sharing of good practices and challenges from across the disciplines, and it will also make sure that signature pedagogies and approaches from within those disciplines are considered. Together, our team will research and develop a programme to induce transitioning first-year students into Trinity, and this programme will be called Gateway to Assessment in Trinity. Its focus will be on the foundations of assessment literacy, and it will enable staff and students to have a shared understanding of areas such as principles of assessment for, of and as learning, assessment criteria, rubrics and standards, the role of students as partners in learning, and the importance of skills such as peer and self-assessment.
So how will students be involved? Students will be partners in this project from the very beginning. Mentored by Capsule staff, a number of graduate student paid internships have been proposed, so that Trinity students will actively partner in the design and development of the project, including areas like organisation of focus groups between staff and students, encouraging a dialogue, conducting desktop research and co-developing the curriculum. They'll also look into writing resources, developing web pages, designing the evaluation and actually running the project showcase. And they'll also be co-writing an article for publication.
So what are the key deliverables? Well, the main key deliverable from this project is the creation of a blended Train the Trainers programme, which will be run by Capsule to train potential facilitators on the Gateway to Assessment in Trinity programme. Possible training may be taken for credit, such as a digital badge, or as part of our special purpose certificate in academic practice, but this will be worked out during the design phase of the project. Graduates of the Train the Trainers programme will become future facilitators of the Gateway to Assessment programme, and they'll be able to roll out this programme every year to transitioning students into their discipline. To summarise, this initiative will engage staff and students from across the disciplines in Trinity to work with academic developers to co-develop and co-produce the design and implementation of a Train the Trainers programme and accompanying resources on academic literacy. This Train the Trainers programme can be facilitated yearly or at appropriate times by Capsule and may be undertaken perhaps as a digital badge or as part of a 4-credit module already on offer. Successful graduates of the Train the Trainers programme will then be able to roll out the Gateway to Assessment to incoming first-year students in Trinity.
That students and teachers become responsible partners in learning and assessment is one of Booth's 7 propositions for assessment reform in higher education. We believe that this project will promote student-staff relations and dialogue in assessment and support students in the transition into higher education to develop assessment literacy and perform better in third-level education.